Okay, good morning guys. I've had a few requests over the last month or so about how to fit a leather grip and do a ramp onto the game rods that I've been building. So this is my way of doing it. I'm sure there's many and varied ways of doing this type of thing, but okay, so we'll get started. You'll notice here that I've got an EVA grip fitted to a blank with a ferrule on here for the uni butt to go on. You'll notice also, hopefully you can see it on the video, that this has a little recess in it all the way along here, and then the ramps are semi-preformed at the end of the grip. So obviously the recess is what we are going to install the leather grip onto. So we'll get on and install the leather grip. This is my way of installing it. There's a couple of different ways that you can do it, of course, but your grip will always lay from the bottom to the top of the rod, and when you overlap the grip, that means that the joins will be facing downwards. Less chance of getting any water into them or something like that. So some people, when they fit a leather grip, they'll wrap it around like this, and basically, just sort of pre-getting the angle here. And what they'll do then is that they'll mark here where it hits the recess, and then bring it around and mark it again where it hits the recess there. Then they'll take it away and trim it to get that edge. I don't do that. Leather's not that expensive, so what I basically do is I'll start on the back there, wrap it around, okay, and I'll leave this here, and once I've got the epoxy on here and start laying this grip down, I'll tape that in position, and I'll show you how to trim that off on the next part of this. So let's install some of the epoxy on here, and I like to use a really high strength epoxy for this, and I put a fair bit of it on too, so you'll create a seal between the EVA and the leather. What you want to try and do is make sure that you've got all of this glue, plenty of this glue rather, in there, and it will basically, as you'll see when I install the grip, it'll ooze out between the joins of the grip, and then I'll just take a rag with some methylated spirits and clean all the excess glue away. You want to, it's fairly important to make sure that you've got a complete seal of the glue between the EVA and the leather. Once again, the glue is fairly cheap, so you should be using plenty of it. It's easier to wipe a little bit away than to not have enough glue in there to start with, and the leather grip doesn't adhere properly to the EVA. A lot of guys use cork for this too, and there's no issue with that. Go ahead and use cork if that's what you want to use. I prefer the EVA. It makes more cushioned grip it's plenty strong enough too. So don't let anyone tell you that it won't work. It will work. I build rods for Wilson here in Australia, and they build 500-600 game rods a year. And they use exactly the same method, and they don't get any of those rods come back with the leather grip failing on it. So I'm quite happy to go with what they're doing because they build so many. Don't worry about having it too neat. I've got plenty of glue on there, so when we've got that done, just get a rag and clean all the epoxy spill off my hands, and we'll get to putting this grip on. Okay, so again, I'll try and get a bit of an angle going down here on the back ramp. when we're installing it, you've got to make sure that you've got an overlap. And now you can see the glue pouring out in between the joints. That's what I want to see. It means that I'm getting a proper seal between the joints and the overlaps of the grip. And I put this on fairly tight. You want it sort of almost squashing the EVA down when you're putting it on. Okay, so there we are over the end. Give it another wrap or two and then hold it in place and just grab some masking tape out, or any type of tape, and basically tape that in position. But when you tape it in, make sure that you tape it in over the top of the ramp rather than back here somewhere, because you remember we've still got to clean that excess glue out. And not only that, the tape, if it's a really good tape, it will probably take some of the black dye off the leather, and so you want to be taking that dye off back where it's not going to be visible. Alright, so pretty much we've got that in position now. I'm pretty happy with where that's sitting. So I'll grab hold of some rag here and I'll just take all of this excess glue off for a starter, or most of the excess glue, and then we'll get another rag with some methylated spirits on it and get rid of the excess with that. I'm adamant about making sure that you get that epoxy oozing out of the joints there. It creates a proper gluing, and it is sealed, which is really important. We want to make sure that this is sealed, so no water can get in and affect the integrity of the glue or the EVA. Pretty much means that if we get it right like that, it's there forever, and that's what we want with a game rod. Don't want any failures with that. So I'll just find my there it is, my methylated spirits, clean rag, and give that a wipe off. Alright, happy. Okay, so that's part one of the step done, and I've pre-prepared a couple of other ones here to go through the rest of the process with you. So I'll just remove that one, the next one up.